Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I am just going to be doing a brief rundown on the takeaways from my very first arts and craft participation I did on the 3rd of November, the 5th of November. I wanted to kind of share with you a couple of things that I realized, and that is coming from a greeting card vendor point of view. So, when you go to these arts and craft fair, people have all sorts of stuff from different reefs and trinkets and a whole bunch of stuff. But as a greeting card vendor, it may be a little different for us. So I will go ahead and get started. So before I actually participated in any of those events, I did a lot of research. With the research, I was able to get some really useful pointers, which definitely did help. But there was on other sides that I never actually got, and only through experience would I have been able to find those out. So one of the things that a couple of things that I know for sure that are a must have is forms of payment. With me, I had Cash App, I had PayPal, and I had Square. Now, with Square, you can sign up for a free account, and you can also order a mag swipe. And I don't know if you are familiar with it, but I will show you basically. So it's a mag swipe, and it plugs into the headset area on your. This is the Android one, so mine is Android. So you plug it into your Android section, and then with your together with your app, of course, you swipe it through, and you can go through the prompts and get your payment. The only thing with that was when I went to set up, because I was so sure that it was fitting, I actually just trying to get this out. Sorry. I think a week before I decided, since we have a lot more chipped cards, whether it's just debit cards or what have you, there's all those chips in there. I decided to get this one, which is it's a square and it's a chip and it's a tap. So in that way, I had those options. And of course, there's a software for it and everything that you can download on your phone and what have you and get your payment. The only thing with that I ran, and I'm happy that I did do that, was when I ordered this square a week before the event. I got it on time, charged it up and everything. When I went to the actual event, and I tried to put in the one for my headphone jack, it was too small. And I said, OMG. But I said, you know what? I have the other one. So it so happened that I only had one person that I had to utilize any of my payment methods for. And that was because she didn't have any more cash and she had a card with a chip. So thank God I got this one and I was able to get the payment. That would have been a lost sale if I didn't have that. So, but this one you have to buy, and I think I paid about 45 or almost $50. I can't remember off the top, but it's very useful. So outside of that, of course, payment methods, you must have cash on hand, which was very good because the few people who did purchase from me, they all used cash. The one person I used the Square Maxwell chip for, she was purchasing something totally different, and it was just some nice little notepads I did with a gel pen. That was totally different from my card collection. So anyway, with that said, just make sure you have forms of payment and backup if anything goes wrong, like in my case. The other thing is, I was at from the research, of course. You lay out your table, laid out, put it at different heights, things like that. And it kind of encourages people to kind of, their eyes to be shifting. What I noticed is it really didn't matter how mine was laid out. Because as a matter of fact, each person who came to that table with the stuff, they all gravitated okay, they pretend I am the customer and I'm coming to you. They all gravitated to the left side of the table. I have no idea why. Very few of them even looked at the right side. I think I had only one person look through the right side, but everybody went to the left. I am not sure why. There was nothing different about the or special about the left side. It just had the cards. So anyway, that didn't matter. The other thing too is, as a greeting card vendor, among other vendors, we must understand that our target market may be different. What I can tell you is that the people who did purchase from me were all over 55. I just want to kind of give you an idea. They were all over 55. They loved cards and they were willing to pay for the card. So that is another thing to look at. So depending on your geographical area, you need to see what kind of age groups that are around that area. I don't know how it can be done, but you may have to kind of go out there and, sift through and see which areas that are more fit your target market and try and connect with those people. But I know for a fact that the younger people, 55 and down, they're really not interested. They would more likely go to the store and purchase a card for the same price, but they will not want to purchase from you. That's just how it is. The other thing too is, one of the things that was suggested is do not sit, try not to be sitting all the time behind your display. That you need to be, friendly, kind of, hey, how you doing? How's your day? How's it going? All that good stuff. Just be nice and friendly and available. And I realized that really didn't matter. The place I was, the vendors on my two sides and across from me, they were pretty much in the back. One was sitting down, the one to my left, she was sitting down doing her knitting or whatever. Very, really nice stuff, I'm not going to lie. Knitting her stuff. And on the right side of me, there was like trinkets and little, I don't know what they were. I forgot to look at them. But like just little things. I don't know what they were. And despite these people who were not really there, they had a whole bunch of sales. I'm telling you, they made a ton of money. And not because I was really counting, but when you're a greeting card vendor in the middle of a whole bunch of people with totally different things to you, you cannot help but see, that, excuse me, that's just a dry throat. So anyway, long story short, just keep those things in mind. And I also would strongly suggest, as a greeting card vendor, anytime you go to an event, if that event does not cater for similar things like yours, like a greeting card, like greeting cards or anything paper or along those lines, I would strongly suggest you put very little stuff on your table. More put it like not an option for them to come to search through, but something where they can see it off the top. Just very little, a very little but small layout, where they can see right away what you have. The second thing is you could carry the rest of the cards, but keep it, in a tub or something in case they ask for any other type of card that you may have. But I realized that maybe that day I had too many cards out, even if it was all organized, all labeled, all prices, everything. But I think people were just not up to having to stand up and look through to see what they wanted. The people who purchased from me, they loved cards, so they didn't mind hunting through all of those cards if they had to. But outside of that, nobody really cared. I think they rather go to Walmart or somewhere else to buy a card, and they're fine with that. And that's okay too. Everybody has their preference. There's nothing wrong with that. But as a greeting card vendor, I would strongly suggest not putting out all your cards. And maybe you can mix in a couple of things that's kind of along the line of cards. Like I had the little notepad with the gel pen. You could do things like that, but something that's kind of ties in with your greeting card, so it's not like far-fetched, from one to the next. Because if you go into something totally different, you might find that totally different thing might sell and your greeting cards will all be still there. So you want to kind of get something that ties in. So I hope that these tips were useful. Still go ahead and keep smiling, greet your consumers, make sure you have your payment method, be nice and tidy, organized, whatever you need to do. But know that your target market may not be at that event that you will be attending. But if you can hand out business cards, or make connections, that is fine. Just be happy with that. So I hope that is helpful, guys. So I shall talk to you another time. Take care, and good luck with any new or future events. Bye bye.